Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the all-new 2020 Toyota Camry TRD. I think this car is absolutely ridiculous. It's almost like they mixed like a Lexus RCF with a Toyota Camry. Obviously you still get the four doors, which is pretty cool. But anyways, a big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller Toyota here in Murray, Utah for providing us with the Camry TRD. You can pick up this Camry TRD, and I'm sure they're going to order more in the future as well in their inventory in the link below. Under the hood of the Camry TRD, we have a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6. It actually gets good fuel economy, 22 around town and then 31 on the highway. Power outputs are 301 horsepower and then 267 pound-feet of torque, and then it goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Let's start things up front. Let's go over the hood first and foremost. So this pretty much looks identical to a regular Camry. You can see the whole headlight assembly, that all looks the same. So you get the projector, bulbs, still get the Toyota logo with all of the safety tech like the adaptive cruise control integrated. This, however, down in this area where things get pretty different. So you can see it's got a full front splitter, which looks super, super aggressive. I love the look of it, especially that little red accenting right there. You can see we've got some venting going on there, and then the whole front end, just the whole front fascia, everything is so much larger here on the Camry TRD. It just looks so aggressive. Around the side here, we've got two 35mm tires, 19-inch rims. You can see that the brake calipers are red, obviously to match the TRD logo. And the TRD does have performance-tuned suspension in the front and the rear, so this is not just Camry suspension, it is performance-tuned, so it is going to handle quite a bit tighter. And then we can see we have some side skirt action going on. Again, that red accenting, I think it looks super cool, especially with this black coloration. Toyota Murray, you did a good job with speccing out this particular car. We've got a couple functions on the key fob. We got your lock and unlock, and then the trunk release as well. So if we hold that down, it'll actually pop open the trunk, and you can see it'll pop right up. And I want you guys to notice the fitment here. So you can see how the spoiler, trunk, everything is just, especially right here. I mean, it's so close to touching, but it's not. Anyways, you can see we've got a ton of storage space. I'm not going to open up any of these boxes. The first owner can have fun with that. I like the red Xing on the floor mats though, but just like all the other Camrys, tons of storage space, and it looks like you still have the little pass through right there. This is probably my favorite part about the Camry TRD. And first, spoiler, guys, think about this. When the Camry first came out, did you ever expect us to see like a fully race inspired spoiler on the rear of a Camry? I mean, this is just, I love it. Anyways, we've got the Toyota logo right there. It says TRD. Rear diffuser, again, on a Camry, dual outlet exhausts, and they actually look really good. Like this, the back end is probably the Camry TRD's best angle. Now coming to the rear here, we can look at the door panel. So we've got a little bit of soft touch kind of in this area. We've got some padding right there, one of the speakers for the sound system, window controls, one of the door handles, and the coolness continues. So we've got these red seat belts. You can see that it's got cloth inserts, so it's kind of like leather all around, and then we've got the cloth inserts, which the red contrasted kind of like piping through them. Looks really cool. And then I'm guessing there's nothing there for weight savings because this is the TRD, but you've also got the little storage pockets back here. Other than that, things are pretty simple in the rear. We've got keyless entry in the front, so one touch to lock it, and then to unlock it, just have to slip your hand in the back of the door handle, and that'll unlock the Camry TRD. We can see right here, we have that silver trim, and it makes the door handle look super long. I think it's kind of funny. We've got all of our window controls right here, mirror controls, and then here's the seat in the front. So you can see it's got the TRD logo at the front. We've got this little piping that goes down, and then same cloth insert. Fully power adjustable Camry TRD floor mats right there. Really good job on the pedals. They look really premium. Hood latch is actually right there. These are your lights right here, stability control, that's for your trunk, gas release, and then the steering wheel is going to be manually adjustable. Start up the TRD, just pick your foot on the brake, push the push start, and it'll start right up, and it actually sounds pretty good from the interior so far. So even though this is a sports car, we have our controls for the cruise control right here, lane departure assistance, your collision warning as well. So really solid on the safety tech stuff right here, and this is for the radio and all that. Red contrasted stitching on the steering wheel, which I really like. Toyota logo in the center. We've got our controls for that little center screen right there. That's for the screen as well. All your phone controls and everything. Paddles on the back of the steering wheel to shift the gears yourself. And then you've got your little windshield wiper stock over there, and then you got your turn signal / light stock. This is pretty interesting. We've got the gauges. They're all red because, well, that's sporty. Speed on the right side. You've got your tachometer on the left side, and then you've got this little menu which you can scroll through. So just like all of the other upgraded Camrys, it has pretty much the same center stack, just red, because sporty. Now here's the center stack in the Camry TRD, so you can see you've got all of your analog controls. And by the way, these buttons feel very premium, kind of like the feedback when you turn them, just feels really nice in general. But you can see that there's a bunch of different menus you can go through. It also doubles as a touchscreen, so pretty simple to use in general, has pretty decent functionality on it. And then we pop it into reverse, we can see the backup camera will pop up, trajectory lines as well. When you turn the steering wheel, nothing happens, so it's just straight lines like that. Other than that, I mean, I think it's a pretty solid infotainment system, and the feedback on it seems pretty decent in general, so good job on that, Toyota. Now we've got the analog climate controls just down below, and they've got that same pretty cool feeling on the buttons. This button up here though, that's the best one. Anyways, single zone climate here. We've got a couple charging stations down in this area, and then we've got some extra storage right here which you can open up to use, which is really nice. Onto the shifter for the 8-speed automatic, it says TRD at the top right there. You can shift the gears yourself right here, or you can use the paddles, whatever works best. And then we've got some cup holders here in this little area. And then here we have our drive modes. So you've got your Eco, Normal, and Sport, and those will actually pop up right here in the center screen. So you can kind of see now that it's in Eco mode. When I do Normal mode, nothing pops up in the Sport. So just like all of the other Toyotas, got your parking brake right here in this area, and then center console, you can see there's more charging stations right there. And then finally, let's go for the glove box with the final amount of storage. Regular size glove box, just like all of the other Camrys. And then you've got this nice little leather up here with the contrasted red stitching. Now up top, no sunroof, because that would add too much weight, and this is a sports car, guys. Sunglass holder right there, light controls. Other than that, they keep things pretty simple up top. There is a little tab on the mirror though for mirror dimmer, if you guys were wondering. Now that we've wrapped things up with the TRD, let's go over the pricing. So this TRD stickers for about $33,000 before any type of market adjustment, which I feel like is a good value, because that Camry XSE that I just drove was almost like $40,000. This one obviously looks a lot cooler, better performance-wise, which is obviously something that I prefer more, so it kind of depends if you want more luxury versus performance. That all being said though, let's take the TRD out to see how it drives. So before we set off in the Camry TRD, let's talk about visibility with the car. So you can see over the hood, it's actually pretty easy to see in general. And then you can see through both of the mirrors with the Camry TRD. And you can see throughout the rear, it's the same as all the other Camrys, other than the Maroni obviously blocking that window. But in terms of visibility, it's pretty much identical to the other Camrys, but let's fully set off now. Now, initially setting off here, I want to talk about something that's kind of random, and it's the steering wheel. I love the feel of the leather on this particular steering wheel. They did a really good job just with how the material feels in general. Now, initially setting off, let's talk about road noise and ride quality. So ride quality is exceptionally smooth, just like all the other Camrys. It's a very, very smooth car to drive. And then in terms of road noise, there's a little bit from the tires, but not as much as I expected. And you do get some sound from the exhaust, and it's actually little nice sounds. It kind of has this like low growl to it. I really like it. Turning here, let's talk about steering. So the steering is very, very light. It's pretty direct though. This car kind of goes right where you put it, which I really like. I mean, you can see just how direct the steering is, but it's still a very comfortable steering rack. So we're stopped here for a second. I'm gonna pop it into the sport mode for the acceleration. And something that I noticed is this car is actually downshifting pretty well. So most cars will kind of just wait for you to come to a stop and then it'll do it. But this is like actively downshifting, which I think is really, really neat. Now, while this very slow Ford Focus goes, we're gonna wait to get an acceleration. And yeah, now we'll get an acceleration here. Those gear shifts are really quick, and it actually sounds pretty good under acceleration. I'm gonna pop it back into eco mode so it drops down in gears, gets me a little bit better fuel economy. But yeah, I mean, this is actually just, it has the same acceleration as all the other Camrys. I'm not gonna say it's any quicker. It really doesn't feel any quicker to me. I just drove a Camry last week. However, it sounds a whole lot better when it accelerates. Let's sum things up on this Camry, and I actually really like this Camry in general. It's, you know, similar price to all the other Camrys. Yes, you're gonna pay a little bit for the aesthetics and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, it looks so cool. You could have this as like the coolest commuter car ever. Like, and I mean, yeah, I know it's the TRD and you're supposed to be able to take it on the track and all that, but let's be honest, nobody, I mean, there's probably one person that will, but most people probably won't take this on the track. But like I said, just the fact that this car exists, I absolutely love it. So guys, check out this new Camry TRD. It's worth a look. This thing is actually really cool. There we have it, everyone. The 2020 Toyota Camry TRD. I think this car is absolutely ridiculous. I'm so happy that Toyota made something like this, even though the Camry is supposed to be like a commuter car, that they basically pretty much turned it into a full-blown sports car. That's pretty cool. But anyways, if you happen to be stopping in for the first time, please subscribe, comment down below what you thought, and then a huge shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller, Toyota here in Murray, Utah, for providing us with this Camry TRD. Check out their inventory in the link below.